Today, our Archicad tip of the week is going to be adding details to the foundation. So let's take a look at that. So with this, what we're doing is we're actually showing this with our adding details to the foundation with using the complex profile editor. So what we want to do here is you can kind of see down below that we want to actually create a hole for where the rebar would go. So on the left-hand side, we can see a circle that's been placed, just a 2D circle that has been placed onto the fill. And what we want to do now is we want to create a hole in that fill. Now, fills in Archicad for complex profiles are actually fills that get extruded, right? So if that gets extruded, that means the hole we create in the fill will also get extruded. So we don't have to go and draw all the rebar, we just simply draw where the hole is. So in this case, if we're supposed to have rebar here, we're going to have a hole there for the rebar. What we do is we put a circle there, and then we select the fill. We then open up design, magic wand settings, and we can also set, excuse me, we can also set what the magic wand settings is here in terms of deviations from curves. In other words, how refined do we want that circle to be? Do we want it to have lots of points, just a few points? My recommendation is not to make it, like I don't want that circle to have hundreds and hundreds of points in it because it will look nice, but it could also slow down the model if you've got a lot of points in a very small circle there. So you want to kind of do it so that it's going to look good, but doesn't overwhelm the performance of the model. So in this case, 2 inches to the deviation of curves is fine, or best match. You put that down, make sure it looks good. Then what you're doing is using your magic wand, basically it's holding down or pressing down your space bar. That activates the magic wand. You click on the edge of the circle, and then it automatically cuts a hole in that fill. Then what that does is you kind of see down here where we've now cut that hole in the fill. And now we can actually see it actually go right through the building and right through our foundation. So that's kind of nice here. So we don't have to actually draw that rebar. We just do a hole, and that will automatically cut right through it. We can also do the same thing with our of the framing that we might have at the top of the foundation. So in this case, atop the foundation wall, we want to have a 2x here. So what you want to do is actually draw fills, not lines, okay? So you want to draw 4 triangular fills here. If we zoom in closely, you're going to see that we actually have 4 fills. And those 4 fills are coming along, and we make them really close so that when you zoom out, you don't really see these lines. All you're really seeing is just what looks like a line when it gets created in a section. So if I look at this, that looks like a line. If I look at this, that looks like lines when I do a 3D cutaway. However, these are individual fills that are getting extruded. So if I were to select this one right here, it would actually show as an individual fill. So if you want to actually have your 2x's there in a complex profile actually show the framing as an X, then you need to draw it as 4 triangular fills, not as 1 rectangular fill. And then finally, you also may want to add some detail to your foundation and structural framing that you do. So this is a really good example. This is from one of our clients who's using and working with some of the Simpson Strong Tie elements. And so he's gone to Simpson Strong Tie website. He's downloaded some of these elements and then placed them into his model so that he can show where his framing is being tied into the slab and the foundation. He can show where some of his bolts are securing the plates into the foundation, etc. And this is something that you have to make a decision as to how you want to, or to what level of detail you want to show. But this is definitely possible. And you can see right here where you can go to Simpson Strong Tie, go to I believe it's under the Resource Center and for CAD, And then once you get to the CAD page for CAD drawings, it's going to have file formats here, and Revit is one of those options. So you want to select that. And then you can click any one of these that has a Revit option for it, and then download that, and then open that into Archicad using the file. Go to the File menu, Libraries and Objects, Import RFA as GDL object, and then it'll bring it up, go select it, and then you can open that up and then place that into the model. And that is our tip of the week.